Hey guys, RHONDA DRACOULIS here, RK3 Designs, and I have a really cool recipe that I want to share with you guys. I had a lady come in and want me to match a really cool sink. And it was really hard because it had a lot of muted colors, the browns, and it had a little bit of a blue. So I played around with it, and I think I came up with a pretty cool little recipe. So hope y'all enjoy this. We're gonna start off using the Stone Coat Countertop Craft Coat. I've really started using the Craft Coat a lot on my sample boards. It's very economical. It does not have the UV protection and the scratch resistance, but they're sample boards I don't really need that expense, so I'm really liking it. The properties are so much as far as mixing it, and your open time and stuff is so similar to their regular Stone Coat Countertop epoxy that it's not like I'm having to really change up a lot when I actually do the job. So we're going to start today with the all Stone Coat Countertop micas. Blue Earth will be our accent color, I guess. We'll use coffee, copper, brown, and bronze. And I actually do have a secret sauce here. May or may not use it, but I went ahead and mixed me up some. And it's actually a Color Obsession color, and I believe it's some kind of gold, 007 gold. So I'm not sure if I'm going to use this or not. Okay, so we're going to start off, like I said, it's all metallics, so you know I love metallics, and I like being able to manipulate them later in the pour. So we'll do a lot of that for sure. So I'm going to start off very random, just lay out some color. Now, even though these micas have a lot in common, when you look in the cup, a lot of times they look a lot alike, but when you actually put them out on your board, you can really see some distinctions of your colors. Metallics are my favorite. Love them, love them, love them. So, stick all these out. That was the brown that I just poured. The first one was the copper. That was the brown. This is coffee. And what I'm doing is, as I pour it, I'm just kind of going in the negative space. And here we go with bronze. Now the bronze has a lot of contrast, so that really kind of makes everything pop, is that bronze. All right, now the accent, Blue Earth. And what I did with my Blue Earth is I added just a teeny tiny bit of diamond dust, because you can never have too many sparkles. And when I say a little bit, it was very tiny. And because my Blue Earth is going to be pretty opaque, you're really not gonna see a bunch of that gold dust just pop out. But when the light's just right, you'll be able to tell there's just a little bit more oomph in there. Now I'm not really gonna just mush it all together. I'm just gonna kind of let it touch. I really don't want this to be all one color. I want there to be distinctions. I'm just covering up my board. If you're doing this on a really big surface, I would come in with probably a chop brush or just my hand, but I still would be very careful to not blend them all. And just let it touch. Not really too worried about my edges right now, because I know I'm gonna heat this up in just a little bit, and I'll run that color over the edges. Okay, this is just looking incredible here. I wish I could freeze frame this and just make it stay. But because of the nature of epoxy, we know that it's gonna move. All right, so I'm gonna heat it up a little bit. I still got a little bit. You really wanna make sure that you get all your little negative space. Wow. No matter how many times I play with micas, I'm never disappointed. All right, so now I want to take this. Obviously, if you're doing this on a huge countertop, you're not going to be able to lift and tilt it unless you have someone there with you and you are building your countertops in a studio and not going over existing countertops. So I've actually done some pretty large countertops where we've actually picked them up and did some tilting. So it can be done, but this is where I want to really get my pattern down. Now I'm going to come in with some extra material and I'm going to take care of my edges. Now this is a sample board, so I didn't pour a lot of extra. If I were doing this on a countertop, I would obviously have bigger edges, bigger drop edges, so I would have a little more material. I'm going to let this sit just a little while, probably 10, 15 minutes or so. Actually, you know what I'm going to do before that? I'm going to hit it with some alcohol. Okay, so the alcohol I'm using today would be the brown, the coffee, and the copper. And this is mica powders mixed with 91% alcohol. I use about 1/4 of an ounce to 8 ounces of alcohol. It has to be 91%, if not, you won't get the same effect. I'm just gonna hit it with some copper. Hit it with some brown. And get kind of crazy with this stuff, I like it. And a little bit of coffee. Wow. I said I was done, but I forgot I had my secret sauce. I think I'm gonna use my secret sauce. And this is the 007 Gold from Color Obsession. I'm just gonna kind of bring it in here. And I'm just gonna play with it. Because I remember the sink had strands of gold running through it. All right, so we're gonna let that sit 10 or 15 minutes and we'll be back and play with it a little bit more. Hey guys, we would love to see you in one of our hands-on classes. We have several classes to choose from. Check out our website for scheduling, prices, and if you have any questions, let me know. Okay, so we're back. 20 minutes later. My temperature in here is probably like right at 79 maybe. I keep it a little warm because I want this epoxy to set up a little faster. So what's happened now is the epoxy, the metallic powders have settled down to the bottom of the resin. I've used this example before where when you first pour your resin and you have your mica powders mixed in, it's almost like water and you put an additive, stir it around, and you see those particles fall. Then you wait a little bit longer and it gets like maybe syrup with particles. You stir them around, they stay suspended a little bit, then they sink. What we're trying to achieve is what I call the cold honey stage, where when you stir those particles in that cold honey, they're suspended, they're not gonna fall. So we're probably not there yet, but I still wanna wake up my powder. My mic is a little bit, so I'm going to come back in here. I'm not mooshing them around. Is that a word, mooshing? I'm just activating them a little bit. Okay, so I don't want to use a lot of heat on this finish because we've let it set to get to a certain point where our resin is starting to set up. If I add a lot of heat, we're going to backtrack and we're going to cause it to be more fluid. So because I agitated it a little bit, I caused some air bubbles. So I just want to hit just fast enough to cause those bubbles to pop. And I check my drips underneath my board, and that's going to tell me how long and how much the epoxy on top is starting to set up. So Probably I'm gonna wait another 10 minutes or so, and I wanna come back in here with a little bit more of my gold, and I'm gonna do this, do not do this. Do this at your own risk, okay? I do this all the time, probably shouldn't do it. But I'm warming up my epoxy that's in my cup because I want to get it a little more fluid, because I'm gonna bring it back in, and this is my gold, my 007 gold, and I'm gonna go ahead because I want this gold to kind of stay on the top. All right, now I have a pretty big blob there, so all I'm going to do is rub this in. Same thing here. I really like the way that those lines are hitting. Now I'm going to come back with clear or plain alcohol, just because I want to kind of get a little bit more dimples on the top. Now I'm going to leave it alone probably another 10 minutes or so, and I'll be back. All right, so we've waited another 10 minutes, and I think my resin is just where I want it. So I'm gonna wake it up again one more time, and this time I am gonna kind of give some swirls, just because that's kind of the look I want to go with. So I'm not pouncing. This time I'm almost giving a kind of a swirl look. And because I'm not pouncing, I'm not really bringing in any more bubbles. Now, I did not swirl it enough to where I'm melding all my colors into one color. I still have distinct colors, and that's really what I'm shooting for. Now we've got a really cool finish. Everything's starting to kind of stay where I want it to stay. I'm gonna come back now, and this time when I hit with my alcohol, I'm gonna hit with bigger drops, because now I want, when that hits, I want it to almost have like a hammered look. So now I wanna get, not quite that bad. I wanna do puddle drops, so that when it has an effect on that powder, it's gonna have, or that mica, they're gonna be bigger drops. Awesome, that was coffee. The first one was copper. I'm gonna come in with brown. All right, I really like how this bottle right here does it. It really leaves some big puddles. All right, that is exactly what I'm looking for right there. You can also come in here with plain alcohol and put big drops. This will give you your hammered look. There, awesome. I really love this brown on here. I really like the look that I'm getting. So I'm gonna hit it with a little more brown. And this is just a preference, guys. You could have stopped a long time ago. I just really like how that brown is giving me a different metallic look on top. So I think this is it. This looks awesome. I love the way that this metallic is playing together and the color that it's come up with. Okay guys, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel by hitting the little bell at the top, and leave me some comments. I love seeing your comments. And if you have any suggestions for future videos, I would love to see that also. Until next time, I'll see you in the next video. I'll see you in the next video till next time. Nope, I'll see you in the next video.